What's up, Team Boosted? Welcome to another video. Today kind of started interesting for me personally. I was out getting a coffee this morning and I was in the Porsche. And while I was driving, I decided to do a little bit of, not wide open, but more on the throttle than we normally are with this car. And it felt way too fast. So when I looked down to check the air fuel and the boost gauge, air fuel was right around 10.5, 11 where it should be. But it pulled close to 20 psi and I had to let off. For those of you who don't know, a stock 930 runs at like 0.6, 0.7 bar, which isn't even 15 psi. And you're only supposed to push them to like 1 bar at the absolute most, which is like 14 and a half, or 14.7 exactly, I think. 1 bar is 1 atmosphere. And we were almost 20 in this morning, so went out and checked some things out over here. And it turns out that the signal wire, the vacuum signal wire for our tile had corroded. We used the old one, which was stupid of us, and fell off. The car seems fine. I was in 4th gear, the clutch held, and the engine didn't seem to mind too much. After all, it is custom low compression, custom pistons for this application. I think the motor was perfectly fine with 18 psi, at least in a short burst. Obviously prolonged 18 psi might be a problem with that. Unfortunately, that changes the video we had planned for you guys today. We were going to do some shameful street tuning, some wide open pulls. We were going to get this eBay blow off valve to work. That's the other thing that I noticed, is what I thought was the wastegate opening. There was definitely a change in pitch. No, this eBay blow off valve just can't handle 10 psi. So as soon as I hit 10 psi, I heard this, this obvious change in pitch. It's just that shitty blow off valve, so that needs to be fixed. In addition to that, there's a ton of external oil leaks that we need to fix. So this isn't ready for more tuning, but the next step with this car is more tuning and the dyno. So today, to get it ready, we're going to strip all this stuff off and do it right. We have a better, generously donated blow off valve coming in HKS unit, and then we're going to reconsider the oil scavenge line. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. This is oil on the compressor side of the turbo. Sure enough, it was in this cone, and I have no doubt when we pull this off, it's going to be in here too. So it's time for a scavenge pump, and we're going to rethink this oil line down here, which goes underneath the exhaust. I think we're going to get a small scavenge pump and then run it right up into the crankcase vent. The gentleman who sold us the GT30R for this car, that's how he has his. We're just going to copy his design. He says it works. The pump that he recommended is quiet, so gonna head on eBay once again and purchase that. And basically just kind of refine all of this before we go find out how much power it makes, because we want to be safe. We spent 18 months building this. We should just make sure that it's done right. Dude, we got this keg like 3 days ago. It's already gone.
I actually contacted Modern Times yesterday, and we can get kegs from them.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a full one?
Yeah, we can get a keg of ice from them.
But not these little pony kegs, because we killed that in like 2 days, and like a real...
Yeah, solid, full-size one. It takes 2 weeks, but I got the guy's card, so...
Shirt seen some things, man.
It's my favorite shirt, man. I'm gonna wear it until it's nothing but threads.
You guys know I don't fuck with wiring at all, but Devin is so excited about having all of this stuff removed because he gets to clear up this rat's nest. Yep. We were a little bummed at first about this because we weren't going to be able to drive it around and terrorize the neighborhood, but I'm actually getting kind of excited because this car deserves to be finished for real. We went to Cars and Coffee, and a few people did ask us, "Oh, are you glad it's done?" And it's just interesting hearing that because it's nowhere fucking close to done. It never will be.
Cars like this are never done.
No, or that, obviously. Look at that.
That's going to be even less done for its entire lifetime.
It's just gross looking at it. That's bone dry, so I don't know why there's oil in the compressor housing. That's also been bone dry for the entire duration that we've done this, including the RWB, like easily 200-mile drive. So was that something that happened this morning with the overboost thing?
There's oil on there, a little bit.
A little.
Not like a huge
Is
buildup.
70 in it?
No,
This seems like
really.
something that might have just like started happening this morning.
Yeah, this is just like a little oily. There's not really anything in there. We'll know more when we can actually get it
I
off.
don't think that it's, I don't know.
Taking it off anyway. We'll figure out a bunch more shit in the process.
So oil's never made it to the throttle body or even this tube over here. So this is a new phenomenon. We gotta find out why that's happening. Also, we have oil. It's kind of splattered and pooled over here. We think that it's coming from our, right back there. Our oil feed source might not be tight enough on there. It was a low oil pressure light and we teed off it for the turbo. It could also be this vent tube, which is just kind of shitty and cracked and it's old. We shouldn't have reused it. So we can get rid of that. Everything else looks fine. Obviously we want to make sure that the oil isn't coming from this valve cover, that none of the rockers are leaking or anything like that. So we'll take a look at that. And then Devin's clean up the wiring. Still need to find out why that turbo's doing what it's doing. That was a new thing. So we got a little bit of mayonnaise in here, and typically that means that you know, you get coolant or something mixing with your oil, but this car has no coolant, and this is because of the fact that it hasn't been registered, and when it was driven, it was typically just moved to and from the garage. And when you do that, it builds up condensation, and that mixes with the oil, makes that mayonnaise substance. So if you have a car like this, or if you have any car that's a garage queen, what you want to do is at least idle it up to, you know, hot oil temperature to kind of try to boil off some of that condensation, because it'll build up over time and you don't want that. But now that we have it registered, that shouldn't be a problem. Obviously with today also doing an oil change, so should remedy the situation. So this is 1000% the leak culprit back here. Just unscrew that, put a bunch of type, whatever that tape shit's called on it. What is it?
Tyvek tape.
No, it's not.
No, it's that's for building houses.
Yeah, it's the
I don't remember.
beard's looking pretty thick, bro. Can't even shine a flashlight through it anymore.
2 C's.
So I've discovered that there's no Teflon tape in between these fittings, so I'm just gonna add that so it doesn't, if that is causing the leak, it's not going to anymore. Anyone online know how much power we could run through a world-class T5 before it explodes? Our new turbo is coming for the Datsun, and we plan to put as much boost as possible through it. This is the biggest spec clutch we could get for the T5. Obviously, when you do, what's the next one up, Devin? T56?
I think so.
Obviously, when you do the T56, you got more clutch options, but we don't. If you watched our last one, you know that we got the wrong turbo for this because we're stupid, so we didn't get to get the car running by the end of the week. Today's Saturday, so yeah, we said by Friday. Guess we were wrong. And then I guess in about 2 weeks we're actually getting a wrap, so could definitely use you guys' opinion on what colors would look good on this car. Nothing set in stone yet. We still have to bring it down and get everything sized up, but yeah, leave that in the comments if you want. What color do you think would look good on this car? Obviously we could change the wheels, well, not easily, so prefer not to do that. So finally, like what has it been, like a month, 2 months? 2 months? 2 months, Devin?
Yeah.
We're doing it right, and that is cleaning up the wiring, so there's not like a rat's nest of shit going on over there, and then this side's basically done. And then, you know, like always, we got them tubes out of here, Kevin. Jesus Christ.
You suck at walking, bro.
Like always, we gotta order parts, and those aren't gonna be here till Monday. I'm gonna starve to death, literally.
It's burger time. Pretty pumped about that.
Oh, we never been to Rockies.
On camera? No, I don't think so.
No,
We've been to Rockies many times.
No, it shits on Hodad's. Fuck anyone who says it doesn't.
Yep.
So we're gonna go grab some burgers. We wanted to tune this today. That's not gonna happen, obviously, because it's completely taken apart. Next week we'll be able to do the street tuning, and I figured out a few things about that blow-off valve, but we're still gonna wait and put the HKS one on. If it doesn't come in time, we'll get that one to work. But we'll be able to make some rad JDM noises next week, Devin.
Yeah.
And then hopefully our turbo comes in for that, and maybe we could drive both at the same time. Well, we got to do dyno, and this is getting wrapped, and there's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, drive them at the same time next week, maybe at the end, but
well, we said that
that's a lot of things to do.
We said the Datsun was going to be done yesterday.
Yeah, we just gotta get parts, which
it doesn't look any closer to being done than it did when we said that. Yeah, so we got to do that too. We got a lot of stuff to do.
Let's get burgers. So pumped for burgers. Yeah, I'm starving.
Yeah, I'm super excited that I didn't break the car this morning with that 20 PSI pull.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing.
From what I understand, unless you're running meth or have a full bay intercooler on pump gas, you don't really want to exceed 1 bar. These cars, I might have said this at the beginning of the video. If so, I'll just edit it out and say it now. But yeah, so what happened was I was driving up the road getting coffee this morning, and it felt like the front wheels were coming off the ground. And by the time I looked over at the gauges, we were like 20 or 21 PSI, and that's way too fucking much. So I got off the gas and the baby at home, but like while I was doing it, it didn't sound bad. It didn't sound like it was pinging, and the air-fuel ratio was right around 10.5, so the injectors were fine, and somehow the stock clutch was holding. None of that really makes any sense. It should have been detonating, the clutch should have been slipping, and those injectors are not that big, so I don't know. Maybe it was just a really quick stab at 20 PSI and it never really like processed that amount of boost. That's possible, but always make sure that your wastegate's connected. But shit happens. I mean, so if you notice that your car is particularly exciting or more fast than it was previously, it was very exciting. It was super fast. You just make sure there's nothing wrong with it. We'll probably be able to tune ours for 15 PSI though, because it does handle that pretty well. We do have low compression pistons, and I'm excited to see these dyno numbers. I'm sure 350, 400s well within the realm of possibilities. RWB Jeff, the guy from Canada we did that 10,000 sub video with, he seems to think we're right around 400 based off of accelerating next to his car, which is over 500. So we're pumped. We don't know about the Datsun. We want the Datsun to be faster. We want to crank that to the moon. That should be able to flow 30 PSI, so try to hit that. And who cares if we break it, right, Devin?
Yeah, we can actually fix that one because it doesn't cost $1 billion.
It doesn't cost 20 grand. We could rebuild it. We can't really dick around with the Porsche because we don't ball out like that. We don't have that kind of money.
No.
Wonder if this BRZ wants to race. Is she looking at me? Really? That's awkward now.
This is giant. Fire, as always.
Alright, so it is the weekend, so we can't do anything until we get those parts. I'm about to barf because of the amount of fries and burger I ate. We're gonna wrap this one up right now, guys. Devin has a ton to say right now.
Yeah, dude, we'll see you in the garage. That's all I have to say.
Alright, guys, again, there's a car on the way, so we can't use our good lens, so this is how the end's gonna be. That's it. We have more to do than we thought we did, but it's a long time coming. The car worked so good right after we built it that we just drove it and kind of ignored everything that was wrong with it, like the wiring and the oil leaks.
Yeah, it's just a little things, a lot of cleaning up. There's a little bit more wiring that we need to, just organize. There's the oil tank there that has that little leak that needs to be tightened up. So we're gonna take care of that tomorrow off camera. Not really important to show you guys that.
Then we can do the fun shit like tune it, and we want to get a pretty decent tune before we head to the dyno. So that means driving it around on the street with VE Analyze Live, which is a feature of Tuner Studio, and we want the blow-off valve to work because we prefer not to stress our Garrett turbo out too much. Devin's gonna go ahead and pick a winner for this video's giveaway. There's really not much else to say. Is we got to actually finish the build before we get it to the dyno, so we're doing that. If you're unfamiliar with the channel, we give away products from boostedchains.com every single video. Details on how to win right after Devin announces this video's winner.
This video's winner is Sydney Liu or Lou, I don't know.
Alright, you can hit us up at Teamboosted at boostedchains.com or through any of our social media accounts. We'll get back to you. Ship you a prize. If I sound funny, I'm getting over a cold. That's also the best way to support us, guys. So even if you don't win, please head over to boostedchains.com and check out what we have to offer. If you want to win, all you have to do is like, subscribe, and leave a comment. The comments don't have to pertain to the question that we ask you at the end of the video. You can comment whatever you want.
You already asked them to comment what they think about a rap.
Oh yeah, so now that that's becoming a reality, like it's happening in 2 weeks. We're not just saying some bullshit like we do sometimes. We're getting it wrapped. That's happening. We think it looks good in gold, so it's gonna have to take a pretty cool color to convince us to move forward. I mean, we already told to we do it, so we're doing it. What color? We want to know. Have you seen other classic 911s, the air-cooled body style? What color do you think looks good on them? Leave that in the comment section and you are eligible to win.
Yeah, I personally kind of like wild colors, so have at it, guys.
Yeah, we want it to stand out. We may or may not have looked at some wide body kits today. That's I know we said we wouldn't, and we said we wouldn't split the case.
We say a lot of things.
We say a lot of things, and then we do the exact opposite. Like when we're talking about buying a new car, and we're like, oh, SRT8 or a Ford Raptor, and then we come home with just a regular Mercedes.
Don't trust us.
Yeah, we almost never do what we say we're gonna do, but this rap thing is happening, so we need your help with that. I'm not guaranteeing that what you suggest we'd actually do. You guys could upvote what you think would be the best color, and then we wouldn't fucking do it.
We'll highly
anyway.
consider it.
Yeah, we'll think very strongly about it, but maybe there's some colors we haven't thought of, so leave those in the comments and you're eligible to win.
As always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.